The last time the iPad Pro series underwent an update, Apple added the M1 CPU 12.9-inch model, which they call Liquid Retina XDR. The next model's development is already well on. What technological advancements can we anticipate for the iPad Pro 2022? Here's all the latest news concerning the new iPad Pro 2022. Time to switch from your Surface Pro and iPad Air. It is rumored that Apple plans to introduce a new generation of the iPad Pro. An improved iPad Pro with the M2 chip is expected to be released by the company this year. 1 year after the model with the M1 chip, Mini LED display, and 5G capability was initially launched. Impressive as that already, Apple is working diligently behind closed doors on the upcoming iPad Pro line. In this video, we have compiled all the information available regarding the iPad Pro 2022 line, including the most recent release date rumors and what to anticipate from the next tablets. Release date. It's interesting to note that a Bloomberg report from early August implies that the release of iPadOS 16 has been postponed from its customary September release until October for the first time ever. According to Bloomberg sources, the unveiling will take place in October and will coincide with the launch of new iPad hardware, which is almost certainly the iPad Pro lineup. Following this, 9to5Mac insiders verified an iPad-oriented event that will happen sometime in October. They specifically mentioned the introduction of 2 new iPad Pro models and the new 10th generation iPad. So this means that the new iPad Pro models will not be available until then. When the iPad Pro is finally released, how much will it cost? Stay with us and let's find out just how expensive or inexpensive it may be. MagSafe Charging. MagSafe compatibility is one of the primary advantages offered by the new MacBook Pro and the iPhone. It appears that Apple will ultimately incorporate this technology into the iPad Pro 2022. Although it was first thought that the business would create a whole glass back for this tablet, it appears that this is no longer the case given how fragile and hefty the iPad Pro would be. Apple intends to develop a larger logo with a glass finish and place it on the back of the iPad. This would facilitate the tablet's ability to transmit power.
Interesting.
Price. We anticipate a higher pricing for the new model if a new larger screen 14 or 15-inch variant is introduced. While we don't expect the prices of the remaining iPad Pro models to alter in the US due to inflation, we do expect them to do so in the UK and other countries. Prior to this, you might have noticed comparable prices for the US and the UK, such as $999 or 999 pounds. We anticipate Apple will raise the price in the UK. As a result, we anticipate the UK prices to be either the same or, more likely, higher than the US version. While it might seem a bit early to start preparing for the 2022 iPad Pro release date, it is not too early to subscribe to our channel. That way, you can get all the latest updates by taking some steps ahead of time to get you prepared for the newest releases. Design and display. Apple updated its 12.9-inch iPad Pro with Mini LED display technology last year, and the device will still employ the technology in 2022. Rumors suggested that Apple might also include a Mini LED display in the 11-inch iPad Pro. Liquid Retina XDR, as described by Apple, is a term used to describe the Mini LED display of the iPad Pro, which offers HDR, crisp details, and vibrant colors. The 12.9-inch iPad Pro's display currently employs over 10,000 LEDs across its back, providing up to 1,000 units of full-screen brightness, 1,600 units of peak brightness, and a contrast ratio of 1,000,000 to. Apple is likely to maintain 2 different sizes, the 11-inch and the 12.9-inch. Although it was rumored that the 11-inch model would switch the LCD panel for a Mini LED display, analysts Ross Young and Ming-Chi Kuo said that Apple will keep the LCD technology for the smaller iPad due to high costs of production. Although it could change to an OLED display, Apple is reported to be planning to remain with Mac CPUs for the Pro-level iPads as a result of the iPad Pro's performance being on par with Apple's Macs. The M2 processor was first used by Apple in the 2022 MacBook Air and 13-inch MacBook Pro, and it will likely be used in the 2022 iPad Pro version as well. The M2 chip has an 8 or 10-core GPU. If either of these upcoming features sounds interesting to you, you might want to hang back and wait for how the battery life might look on the new iPad Pro. New connectors. According to Apple's Japanese blog Makotakara, based on reliable sources in China, the next iPad Pro will feature the same housing design and chassis design as the current model. The difference, however, will be the two 4-pin connectors that will allegedly be located on the top and bottom side edges. According to the report, these new connectors help in powering peripherals that attaches to the iPad Pro's Thunderbolt USB-C interface. It's also important to note that with the addition of driver kit support in iPadOS 16, device manufacturers will be able to write drivers for the iPad. The new 4-pin connectors could help with that procedure for accessory manufacturers.
Fingers crossed.
Battery life. Apple's new iPad Pro is likely to come with a bigger battery, according to 9to5Mac, as some users have complained that the Magic Keyboard causes an excessive amount of battery drain. Even though Apple consistently claims a 10-hour battery life, this would suggest that the new iPad Pro could tackle more demanding jobs for longer, or at least more time connected with the Magic Keyboard and the Apple Pencil, which will probably also get a redesign. As you can see, there is a lot to look forward to with the next iPad Pro from Apple. Are you excited about this upcoming iPad Pro? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. But if you don't want to wait long enough this flagship device, take a look at our other roundups of the 5 best latest 2022 updates on the iPadOS 16.